Check this out. At a recent comedy show for comedian Mike Glazer, a Trump supporter thought it would be a good idea to stand up in the middle of the show and hurl insults at him based on his identity, where he's from, his religion, and more. And he got put down by the comedian in the most perfect way possible. I always think it's a losing battle to go up against a comedian when they're in their element, but I guess Trump supporters, or some Trump supporters at least, don't really understand that. So let's just take a look at this clip. It is fantastic.
Get me a corner so I can hit my weed vape, J14. That's where I want to sit. Let's go. How can I help you?
Jew pig.
Did you call me a Jew pig?
Yeah, I did.
All right, buddy. I think that you should probably go.
We're gonna, buddy. I'm ordering the lift right now, Jew bug.
Okay. Why don't you order it out there?
Fuck you, Jew.
Fuck you, buddy.
More Donald Trump in this country, buddy. Fuck you, Jew lover.
All right. So, I feel like I'm in my Instagram right now. This is crazy. This is so crazy. Wow, you never see him IRL, and then once you do, you're kind of like, yeah, no, that's about what I thought. But, yeah.
I mean, look, he's absolutely right that, a lot of these Trump supporters, or these very hateful Trump supporters, I should say, once you see him in person, it's pretty much exactly what you'd predict. Like, there's no real surprise there. But also, what that person was saying to the comedian Mike Glazer was just absolutely disgusting. I mean, it was just gross. And as he said, like, he's a supporter of Donald Trump. He's connecting his hate for Mike based off his religion with his support of Donald Trump. And we're just seeing this more and more often around the country, where someone is proudly proclaiming to support Donald Trump, proudly being a supporter of his, and then engaging in like the most hateful rant that you've ever heard in your entire life. I just made a video on my channel the other day about how a woman in Ohio wrote on a receipt for her waiter, who she thought was an American. Turns out, of course, he was an American citizen. And she said, "I hope Trump deports you," and gave him no tip. Right? This took place in Ohio. She was eventually fired, thank God, from her job. And I hope that this person is found and some accountability is had there. But this is just something that we're seeing more and more often around the country. And I'm so glad to see comedians like this gentleman kind of pushing back and poking fun at these people. Like, he didn't really seem to get rattled all that much. He just pushed back immediately after, got the crowd laughing again and getting back into the show. And look, he's not the only comedian that's sticking it to Maga and Elon Musk and Donald Trump right now. One of our favorite comedians, or I should say one of the Democratic Party's favorite comedians as of late, Bill Burr, launched a scathing attack against Elon Musk after he claimed his Twitter or X account was flagged after insulting Elon Musk and criticizing him. Let me break down this story really quickly. What to know. Speaking on the February 24 episode of his Monday morning podcast, Burr hit out at Musk, saying he received an email saying his X account was, quote, flagged for inappropriate after he, quote, made fun of the effing Twitter guy for effing Sig Heckling, doing a gesture associated with Nazi Germany, not once, but twice. Burr added, quote, I don't even tweet anymore. What an effing baby. Just like Hitler, an effing baby. The comedian does make some posts on Twitter every once in a while related to his upcoming Broadway role. Burr did not say which specific comments about Musk's gesture he believed had attracted the tech billionaire's ear, nor whether any specific restrictions were played on his X account in response. The official X Help Center says that site users can be censored for a number of reasons, including posting private information such as people's addresses without their permission, impersonating another individual, etc., etc. But we know this about Elon Musk. We know that Elon Musk claims to be a warrior for free speech. He cares so much about fighting for free speech. But in reality, it's just speech that he cares about. It's speech that he likes, not just speech generally. He does this all the time. He targets accounts that are not fully aligned with him and promotes the accounts that are, and sometimes promotes accounts that are very much right-wing, almost fascist right-wing. He's uplifted Nazi accounts and neo-Nazi accounts that just make the most disgusting and absurd comments, similar to the comment we saw just a moment ago made at that comedy show. It's really just disgusting. And, a lot of Trump supporters will look at this clip and say, well, that's just one guy, right? That's just one guy insulting a comedian, saying disgusting things. We don't stand by that. And I would say that a lot of people on the right probably don't stand by that. But the problem is that hate is being inspired by the White House, by Donald Trump. It's almost being endorsed by Donald Trump in the White House. Let me just show you what the White House posted on their official Twitter account the other day. Just take a look at this. You might have seen this post already, but this is almost a cartoon graphic of someone being arrested and deported. It is this specific person right here who, of course, if, we in the Democratic Party support criminals and bad people being deported or arrested and convicted for their crimes 100%. But to mock people getting deported in this way is absolutely disgusting. And it perfectly paints the story of the Trump administration, the lack of humanity, the lack of care for people and their stories. Wherever you're from in the world, you could be a legal resident here in the United States, and the Trump administration will try to target you. They will try to shame you publicly by putting out graphics like this. It happens all the time. We're seeing it right now on the official White House page. We saw recently as well, and I talked about this on my channel, where they made this like kind of propaganda video of people they're sending to El Salvador and Guantanamo Bay under the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. And a lot of those people did not receive due process, right? They were not given the ability to go to court and say, hey, I'm not guilty for X, Y, and Z. The Trump administration just did it. And so the shame, the humiliation of people that look different than Donald Trump, that pray different than Donald Trump, that worship different than Donald Trump is part of the reason. Again, I want to stress that the Democratic Party is perfectly fine with holding bad people accountable. If you're a criminal and you commit crimes and you're doing terrible things here in the United States, no problem, be held accountable. But the humiliation, the degrading, is part of Donald Trump's recipe. Now, the final video I want to show you is not a comedy show. It's not a comedy show where a Trump supporter gets humiliated, but rather it was a recent Dropkick Murphys concert where someone in the crowd was swinging around a Maga hat, and the Dropkick Murphys lead singer picked on him specifically and made fun of him for his support of Donald Trump, all obviously in good faith, not trying to be a horrible person. But just take a look at the clip. I've showed it a couple of times. I think we should see it again. Have a look.
Chinese fucking red that they all wear, and I think it's dye in their brains. You got the black on black Elon Musk true Nazi edition. And then my man here, he's getting ready for summer with a nice fucking light white one, all right? No, bro, listen, I admire your dedication, but I will ask everyone, if you're in a room full of people and you want to know who's in a cult, how do you know who's in a cult? They've been holding up a fucking hat the whole night to represent a president. This is America, there's no kings here! Anyway, do you mind, sir? We're gonna play a song about our grandparents and people who like fought Nazis in the war and shit, you know? So if you could just shut the fuck up for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I love that clip. I've showed it a number of times on this channel, and I will continue to do so just because of how amazing it is. Look, my view is that across the United States, we're seeing a cultural shift away from Donald Trump. So that means at concerts, at comedy shows, just publicly, generally, people are now speaking out against Donald Trump in ways that maybe they previously hadn't. And I think it's really impressive when we see folks like the Dropkick Murphys or the comedian at the beginning of the video kind of standing up to these people and saying, hey, we're not going to stand for that. And then also, in turn, putting them in their place and having the backing of either thousands of people at a concert or the people in the comedy show. Just really, really amazing stuff. And I wanted to end the video on a good note. So listen, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about all this stuff. And of course, have an amazing rest of your day, and we shall talk soon.